going to do is get out of my work clothes, and then we're going to jump right into this DIY. I'm back. I am going to be reviewing the Clearcast 7050 Epoxy. I've had this bistro table for several years. We bought it at a garage sale, and we've had these honeycomb holes in it the entire time. But this year, I actually want to try to create a tabletop, and I'm going to do that with epoxy. Do I know how it's going to turn out? No, but let's try it. Let's get to it. So I don't know if this is going to work, but what I want to do is put a layer of plastic down on my workbench, like so. Oh! Put the table on top of the plastic, upside down. Okay, from the looks of it, my table, my workbench is not big enough. The table is not laying flat in some spots where you can see I can stick my finger under there. So that's not going to work either, because if I pour the epoxy, it's just going to pour into that hole. So I'm going to have to flip this table back over and tape it up. That's going to be the only way to start the process. Okay, baby, that was real tedious. I literally couldn't find no big, thick, wide band tape. And I had to sit there with my doggone Christmas packaging tape and tape the entire bottom of that table. It took a very long time. Make sure you go to the store and get some wide strip tape. Be sure that if this is your first time working with epoxy, that you read the directions carefully, because all of them are different. Some of them you mix equal parts, like 1 ounce to 1 ounce, but with the Clearcast 7050, it's 2-to-1 ratio. And with the Clearcast 7050, you need to pour part A into the hardener before mixing, and not the other way around. And not all epoxy is made the same, so please be sure to follow the directions and all safety precautions in a well-ventilated area. Okay, so we'll cancel that. We'll let that sit. On my website, tishastar.com. Okay, let's start in the middle. And hopefully it doesn't eat through the plastic. And guess what, guys? I don't think this is going to be nearly enough. Pay close attention to the drippage. That is a mistake. That means that the tape was not fully covering the bottom, and that did leave some exposure, which caused a problem for weather and elements in the future. Then, as it starts to set, make sure to get your torch or your lighter and start to pop the bubbles, because you do not want bubbles in your finished table. There is some, it's not necessarily smooth. I have some lumps. Some parts didn't take as good as others, but as you can see, that's the finish. Let me knock on a few pieces. That's what I was trying to get, because I wanted to get rid of the waffles and make this one smooth tabletop. And so far, so good. So what I'm going to do is take a sander, sand down all these imperfections, and then get ready for layer 2. The sanding, I got most of it, best that I could, all of the lumps and bumps out. Next step I'm going to do is take 91% isopropyl alcohol, and I'm going to clean the entire surface to prep it for the second layer of epoxy. Here I am just inspecting the table for all of the spots where the epoxy was dripping on the first layer, I'm just going to say it didn't work. Quit playing. Y'all better get y'all a butter knife. I'm telling you, the cheapest multi-purpose tool you could ever have. They have them at every thrift store. Go get you a butter knife. Stop wasting your money on all that other crap. Be thrifty like me. Butter knife it up, baby. Guess what? It's me again. I'm back. I'm back because I just got off work. So give me 1 second. I'm back in my other uniform. My family are mostly brown-skinned people, and I wanted a color that was going to pop underneath our skin tone. And so I went with this. I am going to paint the table with the Rust-Oleum appliance epoxy, moisture resistant, which that was good because this table is an outdoor table. I think I need to put some curtains up on my window. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Yeah, I do. Okay. Now here comes my favorite part. You get to gather all of the pictures that mean something to you. My theme was words and family, so I wanted to make sure that I represented how those two things went together. Now, I do want to say that this table took me through a lot of emotions because my grandparents are on there, my father's on there, my uncle, my only uncle on my mother's side, and all 4 of them are deceased. And I cried when I was putting them together. And then I have 2 nephews on there. One completely lost his life to gun violence in Chicago, and one is fighting for his life due to the same thing. And it just really touched me, so I cried. But then there was moments that I was laughing my butt off because I could think about the things that was happening at that time. I took my mother to Hawaii, and we both ended up with the same pair of shorts on, and that was kind of funny because it wasn't planned. So I can truly say that this table, if you make one, will definitely become a big talking point for you and your guest. Black on black on black. Okay, off camera, I did the first layer of Mod Podge, and it is streaky. You can see some streaks. They're not bad, but I'm going to do a second layer on camera because I want to make sure the epoxy does not seep through and start to distort the pictures. So let's give it another coat. Start in the middle. And I'm going in an opposite direction. So last night I went horizontally. No, last night I went vertically. Now I'm going to go horizontally to make sure that I get all the cracks and crevices. I think I'm going to start telling you guys stories while I'm doing these projects because I have so many stories, and people have told me you should just get in front of a camera and start telling me stories. And I like to write, so I feel like, I don't tell all my stories because one day they'll eventually go in a book. Well, I don't think I could ever write as many books as stories that I have to tell. So I may even turn my projects into story time. Because I'm telling you, these guys, these ladies, the stuff that's just happening in these streets are crazy. Right, Mod Podge has dried. Some areas it left it a little white. I guess the Mod Podge was having a hard time drying underneath the, here's a good example, underneath the plastic. It's time for the final pour. And as I prep the final pour, here's my review. If you don't know, I only do 2 reviews. One is, that's what's up, and the other, what's up with that? This Clearcast 7050 was really pure, crispy clear. I really, really, really feel that it is a great option for a tabletop. That's what's up. Pop, 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 pop. Pop those final bubbles. Let that epoxy dry 24 to 48 hours. And when it's done drying, you're gonna have something that looks absolutely magnificent. You guys, don't forget, if you like my projects and you like what I'm trying to put out there, like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll know when I drop my next video. Thanks for watching. Please come again.